Good morning, everyone. It is about 6 a.m. morning of day 5. Nice calm morning. Oh, didn't sleep too well last night. I don't know. Yeah, I have 2 more days. Well, 2 more sleeps, I guess. I think. I can't remember. I think. It all gets jumbled together, I think. But such a gorgeous morning. Just about to head for my site from Cloudy Lake. Doing one last look around, make sure I got everything. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, time to go to Buzzard. Although this is it's not the greatest campsite. I like it because there's tons of dead wood in the back there and just everywhere. So to have a fire was great. So this is the marshy area between Cox Lake and I think it's called Loucks. There's a few beaver dams to go up and over, and you have your own little road to travel. And if you go off it, you're gonna be stuck. Beautiful though. I just made it to my site on Buzzard. Essentially right that way is the portage to Mountain Lake, and just over there will be the portage to Vixen Lake. And it was a hot day. At least 30 degrees. All sun, no cloud, but there was a breeze, so that was a bit of a relief. But I am absolutely drained for energy, hence the hammock. I only set up the hammock so I could sit down, lie down, rest my back, be in the shade. So I won't be recording too much tonight, probably. I'm pretty exhausted. It's like 5 o'clock. I just boiled water, made a Kong Pao beef. It's nice and spicy, I like it. But, and I could just be day 5 camping, so anything could be good. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have a fire or anything tonight. I'm just gonna essentially eat, hang my food, and probably lie down and sleep. The heat, it was so hot. And I'm actually burnt today. So, yeah. But yeah, so I had already decided I wasn't going to have a fire today when I finished my last portage coming here. So I was fine with that. Not a big deal. And of course, as soon as I get here, this is one of the sites that has a pile of already cut firewood. So whoever gets this camp next will be very happy. Yep, all the pre-cut firewood, plus a whole bunch of sticks nearby. It would have been so nice to have a fire here tonight, but I'm not staying up. And then I'd feel like I'd have to replace it. And I definitely don't have the energy for that right now. Very nice campsite though. And I'm so happy that it's the west side, so I get shade for the afternoon instead of blaring sun. Good morning, everyone. It is the start of day 6. Tonight is my last night before going home tomorrow. Just watching this beautiful little pink sunrise come up. I think it's supposed to rain most of the day today, so I don't know how much I'm actually going to record, just because I don't want to get my phone wet. But yeah, I just had to capture this really nice sunrise before it started getting all rainy. But it'll be a nice change from the last. Well, I've had great weather the whole time, pretty much. So hopefully the rain makes it so it's not so hot. I can appreciate that at least. Good morning. So it's about 5:30 now. The sunrise is coming up beautifully. It's supposed to rain like all day today. It says like 10 mils in the morning and 10 mils in the afternoon. And then just before dark, it gets sunny. Oh. So normally I would pack everything up probably right now just to make sure everything was dry and get going sooner than later. My only dilemma is yesterday when I checked the sites just to check them for my camp tonight, someone had booked it yesterday. So if they went, they have until 2 this afternoon before they have to leave. Yeah, so if I leave now or a couple hours from now, if I leave at 9 even, I'll be there at like noon. So that would put me at waiting for possibly 2 hours to even grab my site and then still sit up in the rain, all that fun stuff. So regardless today, I'm getting wet, which is fine. It's my last full day here. And tomorrow I think I'm leaving in the morning, just because it's going to be windy in the afternoon. So, yeah, last full day. And it'll be nice to have a change from constant sun and hot weather. So, it'll be fun to trip in the rain for a change, I think. Day 6. 6. It's about 11:30 and it has been raining since about 5:30. I'm just seeing how it goes. I think it's supposed to let up a little later on. Not completely, but I have until 2 to vacate this camp spot, so I still have some time to wait it out a bit. But last night, during the night, I woke up to something scurrying on my bug net around my hammock. And lo and behold, at first I was thinking it was a chipmunk. And I was thinking, they're usually not active at night. No, it was not a chipmunk, it was a mouse. Just scurrying, just climbing my netting. So I knocked it off, and then I heard it throughout the night trying to get into my pack. So I was really worried that it was going to chew a hole in my pack, but I can't really do anything about it. And yeah, when I woke up this morning in a little washroom, I found out that it had somehow opened my Ziploc on my bag with my toilet paper in it and just tore up like half the roll. Luckily, it's my last full day. I leave in the morning tomorrow, so it doesn't really affect me at all. But yeah, that was my surprise in the morning. And yeah, now I'm just trying to stay dry, let it calm down a bit for rain, and then I'm probably going to be canoeing in the rain for a while, but it's not overly windy, so there's the odd gust. But I think I'll feel fine canoeing it. Canoeing in adverse weather, I don't have much experience in, so I do want to definitely get my feet wet, even though they're always wet. But yeah, I definitely want to see how it goes and take my time, just get the experience. And yeah. I assume it'll all go well. I just have to be careful on the portages to make sure I don't slip on any of the rocks and stuff. I have one steep portage that won't be too bad, because I think it was steeper coming into the park instead of going out. And then I got a smaller, like 500, and then a couple, like a 10 meter and some beaver dams to go over, but it won't take long to get to my next campsite. And then it's just essentially set up, have supper, go to bed. And I'll be leaving in the morning because it will be windy in the afternoon. So, windier than I'd like to be paddling in. The only positive thing is, at the moment it's saying it's coming from the west. It'll be coming from the west, so if it's really windy, even in the morning when I'm paddling, I can hug the shore on the west side and be somewhat sheltered. So, that's my goal at least. So, it'll work out either way. But yeah, it's a beautiful morning. It's been a relaxing morning. And it's not hot. I'm actually a little bit chilled just because I haven't been moving much, so that's a nice change. And I love the rain anyways, so at home I'm just always watching it from the doorstep. So being right in it, it's calming. I just wish it did it during the night so I'd fall asleep really well. Something about it hitting the tarp just puts me right out. It has been raining all day since, I don't know, 5:36. And it was about 3 hours travel for me here. I'm on Little Turtle Lake. And it's my last night. And the sun has come out. It is amazing. I'm really surprised, like, paddling in the rain was just absolutely beautiful. The only downside was I had all my rain gear on first, thinking I'd stay dry, and doing the portages, I ended up getting more soaking wet just from sweating with all of it on. So halfway through my day, I actually took off my rain gear because there's no point in actually trying to stay dry when I was just soaked anyways. But yeah, sun's come out, it's gotten humid, and I am just gonna have some food and relax. I am ready to go home tomorrow. I can't even begin to tell you how much I have enjoyed this trip. It's been a difficult trip, but not impossible, so that was amazing. I planned it perfectly that way. And yeah, in a little bit I'll show you my full trip on the map, but right now I'm gonna boil some water and make some pad thai because I am starving. My last portage of the trip is just right over there. Good morning. It is day 7. I have survived the entire 6 nights. I am sore and bitten, but to say this journey was not absolutely fantastic would be ridiculous. I have no words to say how great it was. So I have one more portage left. It's a 600, almost 700. And my yoke, I don't know if you can see it, but that bracket right there is breaking. I knew something was wrong with it because it was angled and wasn't feeling right, but the yoke itself felt relatively good. But now, today, looking at it better, like it's angled, that side's doing it too. Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, this boat only came with a thwart. But yeah, it's been a well-used canoe in the last little bit. I got a season and a half for a cheap canoe that I just grabbed because I couldn't get a new one. So, no complaints. I just really hope it makes it through that last portage. And if not, I'm gonna make it. So this is my map for Kawartha Highlands, the lower portion. And it's through Unlostify or something. I think that's what the company's called. It used to be Jeff's Maps, and he changed or something. Yeah, so this is my full route. So I started down here on Coon Lake. And day 1, I came up through Little Turtle, through Shark, and I came up to Vixen. And then day 2, I came up into Buzzard, Long, Laux, down Compass, and then into Cherry. And then day 3, I came up. I did this almost 1,200 meter portage. I came up through Cox, did the 970, came up, and then I was able to skip this portage and squeak through the stream here, which was, it was low water, but the beaver dams helped keep it a little higher, so I just had like 5 beaver dams to go up and over, but made it into Cloudy, had my rest day there, and then day 5, I think it was, I came back up, came down, went down through into Laux again, to Buzzard. I camped at the bottom of Buzzard here. And then yesterday I came down all the way to Little Turtle, and today I just make my way out to my ride. So after calculating the portage distance, I have done almost 30 kilometers in just portaging alone. And that's simply just, I added up all the portages I did, times it by 3 because I double carry, and that's about it. So 30 kilometers with my heavy ass pack on my back, and then going back and doing my canoe. Yeah, that is my trip. I was originally supposed to go from Cloudy to Stop Log, and then I was going to do this little route that's not technically part of the Canoe maps on the Ontario Parks map. But I decided against that on day 4 when I was having my rest day because, well, there's a lot of unknowns, but mainly because of this Buzzard Creek area. It is on the map showing as seasonal. And if I did that, chances are I wouldn't have made it all the way through because of how low the waters were. I checked out Sawmill yesterday, and the area where this comes out is completely just lily pads and reeds, so I doubt it would be flowing very good in general. So that is the only part that I changed. That was supposed to be yesterday's route, but yeah. My first trip of the year, I did this side route. That was amazing, but very hard. And the water levels were normal then. They weren't low. So I can only assume that that one would be a lot of up and overs or even portaging areas beside the creek because, so just like I said, because of water levels, I figured it'd be best to not make my experience absolute torture, and I decided to creep back down through Vixen. Yeah, so that's my route. I've pretty much done the whole lower area of Kawartha Highlands. Now, the lakes I need to still camp on. I've never camped on Shark. I've never camped on Long or Laux, but those are kind of just, you paddle in. Those would be like take my kids or something. I haven't camped on Compass, but I will next month. Yeah, other than that, I've camped on every lake on the lower part of the map. So that's pretty sweet. Now it's just about trying to find my favorite campsites for the future. Because I will be continuing to come back. There's no doubt about it. It's just too beautiful of a park, too close to not want to check it out every so often. So day 7. I go home today. I am so excited to finally go home. I've been homesick, been missing my daughters like no other, missing my spouse. But 7 days. It's my longest solo trip ever. My hardest solo trip ever. I've had so many challenges during it. Before this trip, I had never done a portage over 700 meters. I double carry everything, so it's always tripled. But so this trip, I did my first 1,200 and almost kilometer in the same day at that. So I thought that was like that's amazing for me. That gives me just so much confidence that I can go other places and really enjoy myself. This trip too, I found that usually my days are like, you paddle for a bit, you might do a few portages, they're small, you get to camp early, and then you still have energy to be like, let's go collect firewood and do camp stuff. Whereas this trip, I was spent by the end of it. And it was like, I pretty much set up, ate, and went to bed. But I didn't feel obligated to make a fire or anything like that. It was just, I felt very, very, what's the word? Content with how my day went. I survived the day. I made it to my campsite. And just, if you get a chance to try going on a 7-day canoe trip, do it. Especially by yourself. I suffer from depression, so I am my worst critic. But it's crazy. Like, this has been like the biggest gift I could have given to myself, because in the 7 days, my head has been so kind to me. And it has just been so peaceful that way. And there's just been so many absolutely amazing positives that came out of this. I had a bear encounter that worked out fine, thankfully. A little too close for comfort. If it had cubs, I would have been screwed, I think. But luckily, it all worked out. The bear ran off like it was supposed to. And that was on my longest portage at that, so it was like a double experience of just amazingness. So I got to a lake that I've been trying to get to since the beginning of last year, and I always had to change my route because it was just a little too far, at least from where I was starting. If I started from a different spot, I would have been able to make it, but I was determined to, that was going to be my long distance lake. So I'm bruised and eaten, but I am just so happy. It has just been the best experience ever. So if you've watched this far, thank you so much. I might do a little bit of videoing, but on the access lake, there's a lot of cottagers and stuff like that. So I tend not to record when there's a lot of people around. And it might be windy later, so I gotta work on canoeing instead. But yeah,